what I wanted to do is just show you through some of the basic computer components that you might recognise when it comes to rebuilding or purchasing a new computer. It is important to note that every single item I'm about to show you is very important. It's not only important for the running of the PC fundamentally, but important as well because the items you're going to look at will determine just how good of a computer you're going to get. To start off with, what you see here is called an hard drive, and a hard drive is the component that looks after the storage of data. Hard drives are often confused with memory. Memory I will show you a little later on, but this is storage. So you can see these particular drives here. There are two types. This particular type is called an IDE hard drive because of its 24-pin configuration at the top. You will also notice what we call a jumper along these pins here, and this is the power socket for your computer power supply to plug into. The second type is this configuration called a serial ATA. You'll notice just slots at either side. You'll see the standard power and the jumper configuration, but the difference is you have a separate port for the data cable and a separate what we call a Molex connector for the power, and that is known as a serial ATA, which connects up using a ATA cable, serial ATA cable, which plugs straight in to the motherboard. Let me just move these out of the way. Now, if you've ever wondered what the insides of an hard drive look like, and this is what it will look like. As you see here, you have the spinning disc, which normally is in a perfectly clean environment, encased within its shell. Here you have the armature and the disc head reader. This armature spins between sectors on the disc as the disc is spinning and reads the data, which is then transferred down to your processor, which displays the information. So that's all that it looks like, and this was taken from, I think it was a 75 gigabyte IDE hard drive. The second common thing that you may find in computer is very closely related. This is what we call memory. This is a stick of RAM. It is a 2 gigabyte DDR3 RAM, and what this is responsible for is temporarily storing data for your processor to use later. The more RAM you have, you will usually find the more responsive your computer becomes. But be careful not to bottleneck your computer too much, as your computer can only do so much do as much as your processor will allow. So that's just something to look out for. You'll see the obvious slot on the motherboard in which this plugs into. Please note that your computer will not boot without a stick of RAM present. The next thing I'm going to show you is called an hard drive. Right. I just try not to be too noisy. This is the motherboard, and inside this little area here is what's called the processor. This particular processor is an Intel Pentium processor. Don't worry guys, you wouldn't normally touch the components in this manner, but all of this equipment is faulty. And what we have here is a Pentium 4 processor with its RAM slot, and the white stuff on top is what's called a thermal paste, which you purchase when it comes with your processor. Then you shut this little lid and close it like so. This particular strip is called the RAM slot. For the RAM that I showed you earlier. And these particular slots here are for wireless cards. You've got these particular slots here for your old IDE hard drives. And then you have jumpers for the USB capability, as well as the power button on your actual computer. At the side here, you have the main power supply, and here you have the power supply for the fan and heatsink that would normally cool down the processor. If I turn it this way, you should recognise some of those slots, as these are usually poking out the back of the computer case. The next thing I'm going to show you is important only if you're a gamer or rendering HD video, and that is a graphics card. The graphics card slots into the motherboard in one of the ports that I showed you earlier, and this is primarily responsible for giving you that extra graphic processing power. A lot of video renderers come with the capability to utilise the graphics card as an extra bargaining tool, if you like, when it comes to graphics. But for gamers, this is important for quickly rendering the 3D level, the maps, the gameplay, and spitting it all out onto your computer screen faster than the standard stock graphics on the motherboard itself. This is a particularly old one, as it just has a VGA slot, and this other particular slot called a DVI. And to go with it, you're probably going to want one of these. This is a CD DVD-ROM, and it basically slots into the computer case. Basically, it will slot using a cable into the back of your computer, and this will sit in the computer case itself. And obviously, you know what that's for. So guys, take this information on board purchasing computers, make sure you have the right components for your project, and you will not go wrong. Of course, guys, on a serious note, should you need any computer assistance or need any advice, feel free to contact me. Drop me a comment